One checkpoint that handles chat, reasoning, and coding with a knob you turn per request. In late April 2026, Mistral shipped Medium 3.5, a dense 128B open-weight model under a modified MIT license, on Hugging Face and Alima. It folds in the old Devstral 2 and Magistral, carries a 256K context window, and scores 77.6% on SWE Bench Verified. In the next few minutes we will walk through what it is, how reasoning_effort works, and how to actually run it. Let us start with the core idea behind how to implement Mistral Medium 3.5. Here are the essentials of how to implement Mistral Medium 3.5 in plain language, what it is and why it was introduced. Mistral Medium 3.5 is a dense 128 billion parameter model that merges instruction following, reasoning, and coding into a single checkpoint. It retires the separate Devstral 2 coding model and the Magistral reasoning model, so we deploy one set of weights instead of three. Released in late April 2026 under a modified MIT license, the weights live at Mistral Medium 3.5-128B on Hugging Face and on Alima. It handles a 256K token context window and is multimodal, accepting both text and images in one request. The headline feature is a per-request reasoning_effort parameter. Set it to high for deep agentic work, or none for fast chat replies. Mistral pairs high effort with top_P 0.95, and recommends top_P around 1.0 or none when reasoning_effort is none. On SWE Bench Verified it scores 77.6%, which Mistral reports ahead of Qwen 3.5397B, A17B, on coding and agentic tasks. If we prefer the hosted API over self-hosting, pricing runs $1.50 per million input tokens and $7.50 per million output. Now let us look at how to implement Mistral Medium 3.5 matters in practice. Here is where how to implement Mistral Medium 3.5 shows up in real products, teams, and decisions. Our take: the interesting move here is not 128 billion parameters, it is reasoning_effort. Mistral turned the cost versus quality trade-off into a runtime parameter, so one deployment serves both cheap chat and expensive agents without swapping models. Collapsing Devstral 2 and Magistral into one checkpoint matters most for ops teams. We maintain a single set of weights, one serving stack, and one upgrade path, which usually saves more engineering time than any per token price difference does. We would not assume high effort always wins. Benchmark none, medium, and high against your real workloads because the extra reasoning tokens cost real money at $7.50 per million output, and many routine requests never need them. Watch the license wording. It is a modified MIT license, not plain MIT, so before we build a commercial product on these weights we should read the exact restrictions rather than assume standard permissive terms apply. Let us recap the key takeaways on how to implement Mistral Medium 3.5 and what to do next. Mistral Medium 3.5 is a dense 128B open-weight model released in late April 2026 under a modified MIT license, available on Hugging Face and Alima for self-hosting. It merges chat, reasoning, and coding into one checkpoint, replacing Devstral 2 and Magistral with a 256K context window and multimodal input. The per-request reasoning_effort parameter ranges from none to high, paired with top_P 0.95 at high effort, letting one deployment serve fast and deep workloads alike. It posts 77.6% on SWE Bench Verified, reportedly ahead of Qwen 3.5397B, A17B, with hosted API pricing of $1.50 input and $7.50 output per million tokens. That is the practical rundown on running Mistral Medium 3.5 and tuning reasoning_effort for your own stack. If breakdowns like this one help you ship faster, head over to Standarity.com for our deeper courses on deploying and operating open-weight models. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.